The top performers are proudly sponsored by Warrington Wolves Supporters Trust Squad Builder. Here are your top performers from round 23 of the Betfred Super League. The top try scorer for the Catalan Dragons was Remy Smith with a hat-trick. The most try assists is the try assist leader of Super League, Lachlan Lamb. He got 5 more at the weekend. Whilst the top meters made come from Matt Duffy of the Warrington Wolves, 201. The most tackleables came from Lachlan Miller of the Leeds Rhinos, 15 against the Robins. Whilst the most clean breaks came from Josh Charnley of the Lee Leopards and Liam Marshall of the Wigan Warriors. They both got 3. The most hard beaters made down the middle came from Sam Walters of the Wigan Warriors. He got 137. Whilst the top tackler was at Huddersfield, Zach Wolford against the wire with 50. And finally, the most goals kicked at the weekend was a perfect 6 from 6 from Jake the Snake Connor. These were your top performers from round 23. This production comes to you in association with the Bluebell Warrington. Situated in an 18th century building in the town centre and just a 5-minute walk from the HJ Stadium, the Bluebell is the perfect destination for pre- and post-game food and drink. The 2024 Warrington Pub of the Year is now the official home of Super League Raw on Warrington Wolves match days for both home and away supporters. Super League Raw are delighted to have agreed a members-only area, allowing our community to come together to discuss rugby league pre- and post-match. So set your course to the Bluebell Warrington on match days and beyond. You are sure to be greeted with a warm welcome and a cold beer. Super League Raw and the Bluebell, the perfect partnership in enhancing your match day experience. So good evening and welcome to Super League Raw Weekly. The boys are in the room. Steph, Greg, Joel, good evening.
Good evening,
Rob.
And on behalf of us all, a massive congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Fraser Howard, who tied the knot at the weekend. They were in the titles this evening. Looking very dapper was our Fraser. Far better than the fish he was at Magic Weekend, boys.
That suits him far better than the Rhino shirt.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But no, massive congratulations to Fraser and to Mrs. Howard. Great effort. Very well done. Nice that the weather was good for you. Indeed, absolutely. Good evening to Freddie McGill, Dawn Baker, Billy Ingram is there, Adam Reeves, Nicola Burtonwood, as always, with the kisses. Deb Hasty is with us, hopefully home safe from Perpignan. But yeah, great to have everybody's company this evening. Of course, another packed show in store for you all. So let's crack on without further ado, starting with this, let's give this another plug for you who are around the Lee area tomorrow, Wednesday, the 27th. Please go down to the Lee Miners from 5 p.m. and support the Battle of the Legends. This, of course, for autism and ADHD, raising much needed funds. Rugby League supporting autism and ADHD. Paul Rowley and Tony Smith will be the two coaches in the dugout, and it will be a who's who of talent that have donned the boots in Super League over the years. Great opportunity for you to go down there to have a really good night, to see some stars of past days, get your photos took, have autographs. Should be a great night. I'd be there myself, but I'm working tomorrow. Disappointingly, I have sent my apologies, but it'd be wonderful if some of the Leafers can get down to Lee Miners tomorrow from 5 p.m. Kick off at 7. It should be great. Mr. Sale, close to you, you'd echo that, I would say.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I can't make it either. I'm at a family event tomorrow, but no, it's sure to be a really good game, really good entertainment on a Wednesday night. So if you can make it, get yourselves down there, and should be a really fun evening at the it's at the Miners, isn't it? Lee Miners, yeah.
The Lee Miners,
so, yeah. So if you are going, remember it. I think it's the Twist Lane one, not the Academy opposite Bedford.
Absolutely. Adam Reed straight in on Super Chat saying cheers for all that we do here at Super League Raw. Thanks very much indeed for that, Adam. And Paul Fail over there in Canada. He's excited as he is off to the Bluebell. He's coming over for the Warrington League game on September the 6th. He'll be one of many in the Bluebell. That will be a standing room only when Lee come to Warrington. We're expecting a bumper crowd in the Bluebell. Perfect kickoff time on a Saturday afternoon. It's going to be great. We'll have loads of fun and laughter in the Bluebell. So if you're a Lee Leopards fan, a Warrington Wolves fan, make sure that you get yourselves to the Bluebell. And of course, we're there on Friday as well, Reggie, for the welcoming of Salford, and one Matty Timms will be live and exclusive from the Bluebell with us.
Yeah, we certainly are. Can't wait for that one. Matty was a great host when we were over at the Salford community, not the AJ Bell. So he was a great host, had a great night there. So looking forward to returning the favour this Friday.
Absolutely. Well, already the members are flocking in, but not just that. The members wanted to raise a glass to you boys, and this is how they did it.
All right, guys, you just can't beat a bit of Super League Raw weekly. Cheers.
Do you love your rugby league? I love my rugby league. Cheers.
Cheers, lads. Have a good show. Come on, you Saints.
Cheers, lads. Have a good show. Maybe later this will be swapped for a whiskey.
You can't beat a bit of Super League Raw weekly. Do you love your rugby league? I love my rugby league. Cheers, fellas. Have a great show.
I see the Super League Raws are rising. Because you know what, folks? You just can't beat a little bit of Super League Raw weekly.
Can't beat a bit of Super League Raw weekly. Cheers, guys. Have a great show.
You know what they say? You can't beat a bit of Super League Raw weekly.
Cheers, fellas. Have a great show.
Do you love your rugby league? Like I love my rugby league. No better reason than to become a member with Super League Raw. You can't beat a bit of weekly. Have a good one, boys.
To all of our wonderful members, gentlemen, raise a glass. Cheers, one and all. Great to have your company. More where that came from. There was that many. I couldn't get them all on tonight. Keep them coming. Great to have you coming.
Can I just ask, was Greg Roach in his East Wing there?
I don't know where Greg Roach was. All I know was he was, he was in fine fell. Very serious there was Mr. Roach. Very serious. I have to give, fair play to Wally, showing the style with his rugby ball. Good lad. Well done. Look, Super League Raw, we just keep getting bigger and better. Of course, the Kevin Sinfield speaking tour, we announced this last week. We have got 4 tickets to give away, and we will be doing the draw on Captain's Run. That's right, Captain's Run on Thursday. We'll be doing a members-only draw for those 4 tickets, and we will also be announcing a brand new code for any member wishing to go to the Kevin Sinfield talk in Wigan on the 16th of September. 25% off the ticket is what we've secured for you in partnership with the Bluebell. So make sure you catch Captain's Run on Thursday. Find out if you're a lucky winner, if you're a member, and if not, you've still got an opportunity of going with 25% off your ticket, which is marvellous. And of course, we've also got 2 tickets to give away to the Everton Stadium sellout that is Ashes Game 2. If you've not got your tickets for this, if you're not a member, do the QR code. You can have 10 tickets for a tenner. If you're a member, of course, you're automatically enrolled. That will be, of course, that draw takes place after the grand final. You could be coming with Super League Raw to the Everton Stadium for that one. And actually, this season has been, I think, bigger and better than the last one. The plans we've got afoot for 2026 are truly groundbreaking. And that is all I'm going to say. New shows that nobody else is doing. We're not going to tell you what they are for obvious reasons, but new shows that nobody else is doing. We're going bigger. We're going better in 2026. You want to be a part of it. Believe you me, this community is just going one way. Boys, you've been, without giving anything away, you've been made aware of some of the initiatives that are on the way in 2026. It's fair to say it's going to be our biggest year ever.
Without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt.
It's hard to say something without giving anything away, but all we can say is keep your eyes peeled, make sure you are members, make sure that you don't miss a single video or upload, because at some point the announcement will be made.
Absolutely. Mr. Sale?
Yeah, no, it's exciting times ahead, mate, and great to see the increase in memberships this year and all that kind of good stuff, which has enabled the competitions, etc. And next year is going to be even bigger and better.
Even bigger and better. You want to be a part of it, ladies and gentlemen. You really, really do. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Looking forward to that. Right, let's get into why we're here, of course, and that is, of course, debating the great game of rugby league. And I said on the titles of tonight's show where we were going to start, and where we were going to start was here. The Warrington Wolves, season over. Now's the time to talk about the Wolves for the last time probably this season. What has happened at the wire? And, of course, tonight we'll start, Greg, with the breaking news that's come out tonight that Connor Wrench has retired at the age of 23 with immediate effect from the Warrington Wolves and the game of rugby league. So Connor Wrench, no more. An incredibly talented lad. It is such a shame that he's decided for his own reasons to walk away from the sport. But I think people just need to respect his wishes and wish him well.
Absolutely, yeah. He's been so unlucky with injuries. He could, I'm not going to say the word that I always use, but so unlucky with injuries. A real flyer. Announced himself, I think, in that game against Leeds. I think it was the first Channel 4 live game where I think he scored the winning try. Such a great talent. Like you say, we've got to respect his wishes. I think he's in an interview. He said that it was one of the, if not the toughest decision he's ever had to come to, but it had been in the back of his mind for a while. It's a shame. But good luck to lad for the future. As you say, once a wire, always a wire.
Indeed, he's got a heritage number alongside some of the greats. Hey, Mr. Sale. Right, okay. Let's get into this debate. What has happened at the wire? And I thought, again, for the purposes of the podcast, I'll just walk through this. We've got a graphic on screen, 24 versus 25. Of course, 25 is not over yet. Challenge Cup runners-up in both seasons. League, last year third, currently sitting eighth, probably going to finish eighth. That's how it's looking at this moment in time. I think that they're pretty much nailed on for finishing in that position. Last season, they got 40 points. At this moment in time, they have 20. They'll probably add to that, but they've got 20. Points last season, points for 740, the best in Super League. This year, 434, the eighth best in Super League, befitting of the position. And then conceded 319 last year, the best in 27 rounds. This year, 528th. They finished in the semi-finals, of course, knocked out to KR last year at Craven Park. This year, they're going to finish outside the playoffs and eighth. So that's the graphic that we've shown for the purposes of the podcast. Steph, will start with you. Bring Greg in a little bit later on. What has happened from an outsider's perspective, somebody looking into Warrington? Have you been perplexed by what you've seen this year? What's been your thoughts on Warrington this year?
If you looked at it from the start of the season, I had Warrington a lot higher. Obviously, I think most people did based on the third place finish. I think signings has been an issue for Wire. When you look at like Musgrave, it's very easy with hindsight, isn't it? But losing a player, he's on an NRL kind of player on decent money mid-season is always going to be a problem. But the obvious one is the injuries. They've had a shocking run of injuries, same as Huddersfield, although not quite as bad as Huddersfield. But when you lose Danny Walker, you can see the difference he's made already coming back into the Warrington side. They look a lot better with him in it. But then you've got George Williams, the England starting six. You've got Matty Ashton, England starting winger. And all the others, even when you go to the likes of Lindop, who was showing great potential. And I think Kai Taylor-Ray's been injured. Matt Duffy's been injured and suspended. Club suspension. So it's been a whole raft of issues at Warrington, and some that could have been handled better in terms of the signings. Some that were out of Warrington's hands in terms of your injuries and stuff. So these seasons happen. The problem is with a club like Warrington is there's always that demand of success, isn't there? It's a bit like your Wigans, your Leeds, your St Helens, and they've always got this tag of our year, and it's always the hope that kills you with Warrington, I think, in terms of the league. And this is why, unless they actually go on to win it, it's always going to be seen as a disappointment. But the problem this year has been it's been exceptionally bad. Going back to the Powell sacking, I think this is the worst they've performed since that. So it's difficult to really be too harsh on Warrington because of the injuries to such key players. But I also think that the you've got to look at who's making these signings for Warrington, and they need to improve if Warrington are going to be a team that can go on and win a grand final.
Joel, on those points, great Steph there has pretty much covered a lot of points there, reference Warrington, and he's right about the injuries. But again, from an outside looking in, even with the likes of Ashton back next year, hopefully Danny Walker injury free, Kai Taylor-Ray there to back up Duffy if Duffy's still there, Lindop back and fully fit. Is it that easy? Is it that easy for Warrington to get back into the top six? Or do you think actually, even when those players come back, that Warrington next year will still be outside the top six unless drastic change is made on the field?
It could have been, had it just been just down to the injuries, yeah. Because you look at, if you're going to compare, you've also got to contrast. So you've not had Matty Ashton all season. Would he have scored a lot more tries? Yeah, of course he would. Yeah. Matt Duffy's not played as well this year as he has last year, for whatever reason. And of course, we know things have then gone on in the back room, in the changing rooms, and amongst the changing rooms, I'm talking, which we won't go into. But of course, there's been a lot of things that have happened amongst everything that Steph said and far beyond as well. And then, of course, when your team starts losing games because you've not got your playmakers in the team, confidence goes down, and so does your performance. And then the questions are asked: is Stan Burgess losing the dressing room? No, but that's how it looks.
Well, say just on that, keep going, but on that, Wellens had lost the dressing room earlier in the season, and look what's happened at Saints since the players have come back.
This is the point. I don't think he has lost the dressing room. I think that's just the view that a lot of fans from within Warrington and with outside that think that could be the case. But I don't think he lost the dressing room at all. Sam's not the type of guy that would do. He's too involved and loves his players too much. I think with everything else that's happened hasn't helped because of all the bad media. Because no matter how much coaches, players, and people that are part of the club say they don't listen to media, they hear it. Derek Beaumont said himself, he's always getting texts and stuff about what's happening in the media and what's being said about him. Whether you listen to it or not is a different matter, but you are hearing it, be it subconsciously or consciously. So there's been a lot of things that have gone on within the Warrington club, and then the question is the culture not right? Is there something wrong with the hierarchy? These are all questions to be asked, and possibly it needs a shake up from top to bottom. But what I have seen, when you do contrast, you had a lot of your playmakers last year playing, scoring you lots of tries, and getting you in positions of a good attack, and your defence was out of this world. You've lost a lot of that. Duffy primarily has not played the same type of game that he played last year, so his defence leaks a little bit. And when you're fullback, unfortunately, you are the last line of defence. It can sometimes come on your shoulders to be the last defender, and he's not always done that. He's been a bit more of a turnstile this year compared to last year.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with all of that. There's no doubt about it. I think Warrington's defence has been a real problem, and I think that comes down to effort and trusting the man to your left and to your right. Last year they were solid. This year there's been a lot of issues defensively, and of course, we expect that when there's a lot of change in personnel, that can happen, but not to the extent that it's happened at Warrington. It has been. I mean, last year they were under a lot of adversity, down to 12 men. St. Helens comes to mind, but, you know, and they rallied through and got a win. So again, Sam wouldn't hide behind that, and I'm sure he wouldn't. A couple of quick shout outs before I give to over to Greg. You can see there that Billy, you know, give us 50p each. That's outstanding. That's not a problem. That pays for a can of Reggie's, so that's tickety boo. Mark's in the chat. Good evening to Matt. All the best, guys. Have a pint on me. 50 days to go to the grand final. Oh, happy days. He's counting them down. Well done. It's going to be an incredible member event, that. The amount of lives we're going to be doing from the Bluebell on grand final day with our members, that is going to, let's put it this way, even Judith Chalmers would wish she was there. Don't you worry about that. It's going to be an outstanding day. And Rebecca Frey, good old Rebecca, she is. She said, have a drink on me. She's not there. She's on mum duties on Friday. She will be missed. But yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you very, very soon, Rebecca. Keep smiling. Right, Greg, look, one thing, I mean, you can have your say on the first team and what's been going on the pitch, but, you know, one of the big criticisms of Warrington over the years, they haven't developed their own. And we know that they've done that. You know, we know that you look at the reserves, you look at the academy, you look at the way they perform this year. You know, there is potential of a very bright future when these lads come to the fore. I'd expect Leon Hayes back at the weekend. I think he'll start against Salford. I'd love to see Tom McKinney get his shot in front row as well against Salford. So we know there's some really good players on the way. So this is the problem. You know, you either want to nurture your own and have a bit of patience, or you don't. Now, don't get me wrong. Warrington had a roster this year that should have done a lot better. So it's about that balance for me. It's the fact that if Warrington are not recruiting and have toned that down because they've got so much faith, you've almost got to give it time. Your thoughts, mate, as a Warrington fan, sum it up.
As a Warrington fan, it's frustrating to go from the performances we were putting in last year. And, you know, we were very, very close to getting to that grand final. Whether we'd have won it or not is a different matter. Frustrating. I agree with what Steph said. Injuries have not helped. It doesn't help when the players that come in to replace the injured players are then getting injured themselves. So then you're in that situation where you're having to bring in maybe players who aren't quite ready, and that again that dents their confidence. If the result doesn't go the way, it dents the team's confidence. So, you know, it has been, I think somebody put in the chat, it's been a perfect storm of...
That was Craig, yeah.
Yeah, injuries, recruitment wasn't up to the standard you'd expect of a team that wants to go 2 steps further and win a Challenge Cup and get to a grand final. Recruitment was poor. That has to be addressed. Were the players... Was it just that those players that Warrington wanted were not available or didn't want to come to Warrington, got better offers elsewhere? The recruitment has to be better. I think most Warrington fans agreed that we would struggle with the pack this season. Vaughan aside, we had and Fitzgibbon aside, we had quite a small pack.
Harrison's injuries as well as earlier.
Harrison's injuries. Vaughan's out injured now. You know, it makes change him not being suspended, but he's injured. Few of the players, Holroyd has been out injured and dropped, you know, not played. So the noise is always noise with Warrington. When Warrington aren't performing, when things aren't going right on the pitch, there's always a noise that it's a toxic club, that there's something wrong, that the coach has lost the dressing room. It's probably something that also stems back to the Powell days, because he got rid of a lot of players. And you look at those players, those that are still playing who left Warrington, and they're doing quite a decent job for other teams. You know, Lee's one of those teams where a few of our players went to, and they've done a decent job. No, but we can't be in a constant state of rebuilding. You know, we've got the youngsters there now who are doing well in the academy and the reserves, but we can't be in a constant state of rebuilding that we seem to have been in since, you know, the last couple of years of Tony Smith's line as head coach. So we need to get more consistency.
But just on that, you're on about rebuilding, right? So it's been announced this week that Warrington are trying to hold on to Matteson, which you can understand.
Yeah.
And Sam Stone.
Yeah.
Now, Sam Stone is playing in a position where Warrington have got a multitude of players, back row, and a lot of talent coming through the reserve league.
Yeah.
As a Warrington fan, do you want to see Sam Stone given a contract for next season?
I wouldn't mind. I think Matterson has done okay. Sam Stone, I think the jury's out. My personal jury is out on Sam Stone.
Right.
I think he's got a couple of games to prove he's worth a new contract for me. If not, I would definitely promote some of the youngsters. Fitzgibbon. There's rumours that Fitzgibbon might not be coming back next season. So, yeah, recruitment, injuries. The Vegas trip has been blamed for a lot of things. I think that may have been something that was in the background rather than a root cause. But, it's this constant state of rebuilding that Wyre seem to find themselves in every other season, that they need to get through that and, move on. For me, anyway.
Yeah, well, look, we thought we'd have a quick chat about it. No more Warrington from now until 2026, because, of course, next year it will, of course, be Warrington's year. Let's not forget that. But anyway, the final word, Greg Roach's question: Warrington or Catalan, the most disappointing team of the year, Steph?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I'm going to say Warrington.
Joel?
Catalan.
Greg?
Warrington.
Yeah, Warrington. 3-1 Warrington. I think Warrington have been absolutely diabolical in Super League this year. It's got to be said. Fraser Howard is with us, basking in how attractive his missus looked on the opening credits. He's definitely punching his our Fraser. But my friend, absolute pleasure to do that for you, mate. Many congratulations from all of us here tonight on the panel. Simon Shaw, another Super League Raw member, he's talking about, the NRL, the Williams and the Burgess thing didn't help. Couldn't agree with you more, because the Musgrove thing didn't help as well. Kev Wallace saying Danny Walker's absence this year has been colossal. Couldn't agree with him more. But yeah, look, bottom line is, we're here to talk about champion teams. We're here to talk about the excitement of what's about to come. So Warrington for 2025, we wish you goodbye on Super League Raw. That's done and dusted. And Kev Wall says, thank God for that. Here's a beer. Shut up, boys. I don't want to carry on. I don't want to keep hearing about my team, albeit they might just make just a little bit of a comeback in some other segments later. Heather Bailey, one of our newest members, she's also saying cheers this evening. Thank you very much indeed, Heather. As too is Simon Shaw. Fantastic. Thanks for the beers. We always appreciate it. Let's keep going. No more Warrington until 2026. There you go. And Matty Timms is getting excited. He said, are we worried about Friday? Matt, would not surprise me, mate, if Salford came to town and won. Let's put it that way. Right, let's celebrate some heroes of Super League, some majestic little milestones this weekend. Alex Mellor, front and centre, 250 career appearances now for him. Sam Powell got to 300. That's a great effort, isn't it? Toby King, 200 in his career. Jez Litton, he also had his 150th KR and 150th appearance in Super League as well. And Patrick Mago, 150 in his career, 100 in Super League. We're not done yet, though, lads, because there's three more. Ethan Havard, he got to his 100th Super League game. And didn't miss either. We might come on to that a little bit later as well. Josh Charnley, he just needed one try to go joint 25th with Alan Hunt and Jimmy Latham. He went one better. He's now standing 24th place on his own. Well done to Josh Charnley with his brace at the weekend. And finally, Tom Davies scored his 100th Super League try. Boys, you will join me in congratulating the gladiators of our sport on superb milestones.
Fantastic,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And interesting to see the two Warrington players are the only two with grand final winning rings.
Well, there you go. There you go. You can't see that changing anytime soon either. But anyway, that's another thing, isn't it? Right, okie dokie. We did this last week. It went down very well, so it's back for week number 2.
You little ripper. Take a bow, son. Take a bow.
Yes, it's time for taking a bow. This one caught the boys completely off guard last week, but it's back again this week. We've got actually, it's a top 4. We've got a joint second this week. I might be cheating, I don't know. I don't know. I might be. Who knows? But anyway, there you go. We have a thunderstorm, boys. We have a thunderstorm on the screen for those listening to the podcast. And in third place this week is Brad Whiteley, a Castleford Tigers fan, who said on social media that his beloved Castleford Tigers, well, here it comes. Only we could make Catalans look like prime Melbourne Storm. Good lad. Well done. Great effort from Brad Whiteley there. Now we go to a bit of Brit awarding. Any ideas where we're going with this, boys?
Nope.
No ideas. Well, we'll start with both of these are KR. We're going to start with my apologies.
Harry Smith. Harry Smith.
Are you going Harry Smith? Well, we're going to start. I'm sorry to Sean Millward Perkins because I forgot to put his name next to Leeds Rhinos fan, but he said they, Hull KR, expected Mikey and got Leona. Good lad, well done. And Sean French, a Hull FC fan, also weighed in on Hull KR's loss to the Leeds Rhinos. He said, at least Coldplay got near the try line. Outstanding stuff. Well done. But the winner for the second week running has to go to Warrington. Warrington have been the gift that just keeps giving. These first 2 weeks of give you, take a bow, son, take a bow. And take a bow, Roy Birch, a Warrington Wolves fan, who, having seen Warrington go down against Huddersfield Giants, he said, my 80-year granny's bingo squad had more fighting than this.
I saw that. That was genius.
Absolutely outstanding. That is what we're talking about. That's what Super League Raw is all about. Coming back very, very soon is... You little ripper. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Yes, take a bow, son, take a bow. Let's dip back into the Championship. The Championship has got it all going on this season. Absolutely outstanding finish on its way in the Championship. Toulouse, they were in the box seat against York at half-time, and then York come firing back in the second half. A massive win for York Knights away at Toulouse, 16 points to 8 to give themselves a bit of breathing space at the top of the Championship. Great effort from them. Oldham, another win for Oldham. They just about squoze past the Broncos. Last week, they got a tight win as well. This week, again, another tight win, this time against London. Josh Drinkwater, remember him from his Warrington days, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Catalan, he was remarkable on the day. Keeps Oldham well in the groove for those playoff spaces. And speaking of playoff spaces, congratulations to Widnes and to Barrow, who kept their playoff chances alive with wins against Featherstone Rovers and Doncaster. And of course, both of those two teams are in prime position in the playoff places. Boys, it's getting really interesting. This is the league table. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And this week, it's York's bye round and Bradford host Toulouse.
Oh, yeah, big game, really big game. And obviously massive for everyone involved in this competition. If they can get the grand final when it's 0.25 IMG points, which could be the difference between a 12th place or a 13th place IMG placement. So, massive permutations on the Championship this year, and it's going to be a fantastic closed end to the season for them as well.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like I say, with that win, really, I mean, the fact that Doncaster lost as well, really tightening up now for that 6th spot as well. Greg, can our friends, the Widnes Vikings, get into the playoffs, mate?
No reason why not. They're a long way. They've still got a few points to get before we get to that stage. But, Oldham versus Doncaster is another kind of crunch game as well this weekend. If Oldham continue on the way that they've been going in the last few weeks of the season, then who knows?
Who knows indeed. And of course, Widnes take on Hunslet, bottom of the table, Hunslet. So that's a real opportunity for Widnes this weekend as well. Keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube channels of these clubs. They are showing these games on their YouTube channels. Like I say, that Toulouse-York one, second half, brilliant performance from Mark Applegarth's York Knights. They really did come back very, very well against Toulouse. The game at Bradford this week should also be a fine game as well. Adam Reeves back into Super Chats. He's loving a bit of Take a Bow, son. He's absolutely loving Take a Bow. I have to say, boys, I do like a bit of Take a Bow. I think it's good fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's good fun.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a message as well from somebody who'd appeared. I can't remember if it was Wobble. I think it was Tom Wilson actually, who said it was somebody who said, thanks for me shout out. I said it's all in good fun, mate. All in good fun. Don't you worry about that. It's only in jest. It's only in jest. Right, okay. We're going to quickly dip into this. Right then, Greg, it's over to you, me old China. Breaking news this evening at Huddersfield Giants.
Yeah, Kelsey Gentles, the York player, signed for the Giants. What a great signing for Huddersfield. Says she's really excited by the project that's going on at Huddersfield at this moment in time. That they could just, as unlikely it sounds, scrape a top 4 finish if certain results go their way. Kelsey Gentles been battling back from a knee injury. But yeah, it's a great signing for the Giants. Should really be a boost for them. And also, weekend congratulations to Shani Crowell. She became the first Saints woman to hit 100 games for the club, so she got a guard of honour from some of the new signings, some of the new youngsters. So he wasn't there. She was over watching.
World. Probably a good thing.
So yeah, probably a good thing. Yeah, after what she did to me little daughter. Anyway, we shall move on.
She might have tripped her up.
Can't go. I won't be responsible.
Yeah,
I won't let it go.
Yeah, for those people who haven't got a clue, Rebecca, when she played for Warrington, came up against Saints, and to say that Rebecca came off worse in what was, dare I say, a challenge that was bordering on downright illegal is an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah, but congratulations.
Indeed.
It's no mean feat in the women's game to hit 100 games. Saints won 90-0. We talked about one-sided results against Barrow. We talked about one-sided results last week. Don't need to go there again. To go top of Women's Super League because Wigan were beaten for the first time this season. They've got one draw.
Not just beaten, mate. I mean, Wigan have been playing 32-10. That was a pumping.
And they were 22-0 down at half-time.
Yeah.
Sinead Peach opened the scoring on 10 minutes, and they didn't look back after that.
No.
They're just a point behind Wigan now in third place. 3 games to go, so that it is really tight at the top.
Well, here it is, mate. Here it is for you. There you go, mate.
It's like it was almost scripted.
Yeah.
So as you see, Huddersfield Giants probably an outside chance of that 4th place, but Leeds beat Lee, who had a real good start to the season. Lee, and they've gone off the boil. I think there's been a few injuries there as well. Leeds won 40-10 at the Sports Village, and Warrington, poor old Warrington. They got a try this weekend, which is something, but they went down 54-4 at Huddersfield. Where Kelsey Gentles will be making a new home. So the one question on that though, Warrington kicked off at Huddersfield at 2:00 in Huddersfield, and the men kicked off at 3:00 at the Aku Stadium. Why could it not have been a double header?
Don't know, mate.
More eyes on the women's sport. I'm sure the Huddersfield fans would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But the big game this weekend is obviously York are travelling to Saints.
On that point, Reggie, if your Valkyrie win that, and we'd expect Wigan to win this weekend, with a couple of games to go, it'd be Wigan on 21, Saints on 20, York on 20. Ooh, that's tasty, isn't it?
It is. And York have suddenly found form at the right time. They've had a bit of an up and down season, as have the Rhinos, to be honest. But again, it's all that question of injuries. Valkyrie they shed a lot of players at the start of the season as well. They had a revamp of the squad, and it's taken time, I think, for the new players to settle in. Some young players have come through, so it's a massive game. So if you can get to that game this weekend, get there if you can. It's going to be a fantastic game. And we watched the semi-final when Warrington played Lee, and that was a great game as well between these two teams. So yeah, fantastic. It's really shaping up nicely. Huddersfield, I'm not sure that they're going to get that 4th spot.
No.
But
it's actually, isn't it?
Yeah, that top 4. It's looking really tasty between St Helens, Wigan, and York.
The end of the season will be fascinating. And I think, and that's it. I think what we've got, same as Super League, Championship, and the women's. I think we're in for a really good playoff series in all three competitions. It's going to be fantastic to see. But yeah, well done, mate. Happy days. Let's bring the boys back. Right, before we go on to the main hanging and banging, and all the rest of it, just a couple of things. Hull FC have launched their supporters player of the year poll today. So you black and white fans, you can go online if you're a supporter of Hull FC and you can vote for your player of the season. So just for fun, Greg, if you were doing that vote, who would you say was the Hull FC player of the year?
Oh, blimey. That's a real good question, because there's some players who were doing well at the beginning of the season and got injured or fell out of favour. God, who would be my Hull player?
God definitely doesn't play for him. Definite.
Oh, so he don't play for Warrington.
Tyler might sign him yet.
He's too young. God's too young for Hull at the minute. Sorry, Hull fans. For me, the winger.
Lewis Martin.
Yeah, Lewis Martin.
Yeah. Oh, Steph's nodding. Are you going Lewis Martin, Steph? Lewis Martin for Steph.
Not trying to score in Super League. He's got to be, hasn't
he? Yeah, absolutely. Simon Shaw, 100%. He's going the way of Martin. Scott Hardy, he's gone SASA. Billy Ingham, he's gone Zach Hardacre. I can see that. I think Zach's played a multitude of positions this year. He's been steady away. Joel, your thoughts on FC? Who would you vote for?
Starting the season, you're going SASA. I think it's between Zach and
Lewis Martin.
Lewis Martin, thank you.
That's all right.
I remember his name. I think it's got to be Martin.
I don't like remember his name either.
I know. It's got to be Martin. He's just been sensational. It's been so good to watch. And he just knows where the try line is, isn't he? He's wonderful.
Yeah, he's finished some wonderful tries this year. I'd have to say I'd go Martin. But do you know what? That's quite a few are going there. Keith Lambert's gone, Zach Hardacre, Craig Force mentioned him. Tom Masters mentioned that. I can see that. I think, for his versatility, I think in some games he's really dragged them as well by the collar and really got them over the line. It's a good shout. I think Zach might come out with, because you know what Rugby League award dinners are like. I mean, the about 10 or 15 awards given out on the night. I'd expect Zach will get his fair share, presidents or whatever. But yeah, I think Lewis Martin. And of course, as always, we will keep you posted here on Super League Raw when we get into award season, who is picking up these awards. And of course, we'll have a debate about that as well. And Simon is being a little bit naughty. He's saying anyone for Moy. Simon, really? That's a Super League Raw joke if ever there was one. Right, let's get into hanging and banging. Here we go. Banging or hanging?
This is what would Oliver say at Super League Raw. So I've been thinking about the England squad to face Australia in the Ashes, and I think going on current form, I don't know how Harry Smith can get in. Although Jake Connor can get a bit cocky at times, I just don't know how you can leave a spectacular talent like Jake Connor, who can pull out magic moments at any time and is a possible Man of Steel contender. I think Jake Connor is a great player. His positioning and how he attacks at the defensive line is probably the best in Super League. But don't get me wrong, these last couple of years Harry Smith has been decent, but I think going on current form, I think Connor has to be in the squad to give England a better chance at winning the Ashes. What do you think, Super League Raw?
What do we think, Super League Raw? Hanging and banging, brought to you this week by S&J Detailing, the only place that you need to go for your patios and your driveways. All nice spick and span for those winter mums. Steph, let's bring you in first on this. I have to say, he's a cunning linguist, that boy. He really is. Some of the words that he was coming out with there to describe Mr. Connor, you were sitting back and rolling over that chair behind you, weren't you? They were that good.
No, yeah, he put some of us to shame, does Ollie. But no, he's a great point. Connor's been fantastic for Leeds, and I mean, you look at his performance against KR at the weekend, absolutely phenomenal from him. And he's got a good point. Although Smith is a good player, you don't become a bad player overnight. I think he's slightly more of a game controller. Harry Smith. When you look at the NRL, it is quite structured in how they play, so that would go in Harry's favour. But I totally get what you said about Connor. His assists, the way he does attack the line and stuff. It's a different style of seven from Smith. It all depends on, I think, the players that are around them as well, and who Sean Wayne's going to pick around them in terms of which seven best complements. But we know Connor's not even been in the train-on squad, so we'll see whether that changes based on his form.
Coming to you, Joel, I mean, based on what Steph just said there a moment ago in terms of Harry Smith, and don't get me wrong, Harry Smith has proved time and time again he can game manage. But actually, in the KR game, I thought that Connor played more scrum half than he did standoff. Forget where the positions were. If you actually watch that game, everything was going through Connor. He was kicking the ball. He was orchestrating the Leeds Rhinos against KR, and actually had a stellar game against quality opposition. Something that Harry couldn't do the week before. What's your thoughts on that? Did you see enough from Connor in the KR game to suggest against the very best he can manage a game?
I guess the question is, would you pick Usain Bolt or would you pick Mo Farah? You know, that they're both excellent at what they do, but they are completely different players. Historically, Jake Connor has been as we've said so many times, the off-the-cuff player, the person that can bring up the magic moments. But he also is known for, other than this season, for making some horrible mistakes in trying to do the same thing. Whereas Harry, at least with Harry, you know that you're going to get someone who's going to control the game, and he's going to be very methodical. But when you've got George Williams in there, which no doubt he's going to be playing in that shirt, he's going to be doing the same himself. So, who are you going to have in your half? So you're going to have the likes of George Williams and a Jake Connor. That could be a good little pairing. But the better pairing would be seeing Harry Smith and Jake Connor playing together. Now that would be a good partnership in the halves, I think. But going back to your question, Dave, has he done enough so far? Yes. I'd like to see him do another season of it, though, because one season for me isn't enough. Certainly not to put on an England shirt, because you know you're not just representing yourself in your country. You're representing the fans that watch Super League, watch Rugby League, and you are going up against the best in the world. And has he got it in his repertoire now to go up against the best? Because he's not as young as he was. You know, he's not as fit as he was. And that does play a big part, especially when you're coming up against like your Samoans, your Fijians, and especially your Australians.
AD saying about Ethan Strange, a lot of talk down under that he might be playing for our opposition. They want to tie him down to the Kangaroo jersey. So I don't think that is going to happen, if I'm being honest. Greg, quite a lot of chat around. No, it shouldn't be Smith. It should be Williams. I mean, again, Warrington fan. You know, should George Williams be playing Ashes at the end of the season based on his form in 2025?
Not for me, to be honest. I would be very worried about Williams. I don't think there's any doubt that Williams and Smith will be thereabouts. Harry Smith is a great controlling halfback. He leads Wigan around that pitch. He might not have the explosiveness of a Mikey Lewis or a Jake Connor, but he controls the game. We saw that in the grand final last year. His kicks progressively got Wigan further and further up the pitch. Then Brevin French struck on the back of his position in the team. Don't forget, Harry Smith has had a couple of different halfback partners this season as well. So maybe a lot more pressure has been heaped on his shoulders as the more experienced halfback, that he has to carry more of the game himself. But I don't think there's any doubt that Sean Wayne will have Smith and Williams in there. And it's been said in the chat, I don't think Connor is the type of player that Wayne trusts more than anything, especially against, as Joel said, somebody like as disciplined and who can and are well versed in the dark art.
The dark art. Are we playing bingo? Oh, yeah. We've got the dark art.
Not said it for a while, as the Aussies are going to be. They know they would be in Connor. I think that might count against Mikey Lewis a little bit as well. They're going to be in Connor's and Lewis's ear, and they're going to be winding and winding and winding. So, as much as I can see what Ollie's point is, I don't think there's any doubt that Harry Smith won't be starting against the Aussies at Wembley, unless he's injured, of course.
Absolutely. A couple of people saying Harry Smith's overrated in the chat, which I find interesting, I have to say. Very, very bizarre. But anyway, there you go. Right, before we go into the main one, and of course you guys get your quick rapid fire through the main news. I don't know if anything's come on while we've been talking, but anyway, we'll get into the a bit of a round robin in a minute. But before we do, just another observation that I've got. I don't know if we've ever mentioned this. Just get your view on this. Why do some clubs post on their social media feed who their referee is going to be this week? For what purpose is that? You don't see it in any other sport where, oh, we've got this ref this week. I mean, why? Why are we doing that? Anyone?
Purely public information reasons, Dave.
No, but it's not, because what it actually does is it creates a narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Against the referee, who's a human being in the middle, who then has to go through hundreds of really bad, he's going to be biased. I mean, let's be fair. You know, was it Mr. Moore that was going to be the most biased referee ever in the KR Wigan game in favour of Wigan? That didn't go down well, did it? You know, it's a nonsense. So I just thought I'd make an observation. Hanging or banging. So those clubs that decide that they're going to put a big picture of the referee that's going to be doing their game this weekend, is that hanging? Is that banging, Greg?
It's mischief making, isn't it? So for me, it's hanging.
Hanging, Joel?
I think I know why they do it, and I'm going to say banging, and you'll understand why. I think sometimes they do it for the click-through rate. So when they put it on, they're getting, traffic coming through to their prospective websites, and they're getting clicks, they're getting likes, dislikes, they're getting comments. So they're getting traffic through, and that then helps with the algorithms and everything. So for that side, it's banging. It's a very good idea. Any news is good news, whether it's bad or good. But for the reasons why fans actually go on there, it's hanging.
So you're likening this to the current social media craze of posting previous topless supermodels saying, doesn't she look attractive, just so that 100,000 people say no, she looks X, Y, and Z, and completely destroy her. Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, which again, just in the mental health sphere, give your heads a wobble. The ones who do that, at the end of the day, not good. But anyway, you can have your views on people, but you shouldn't be trolling online, regardless of who it is. Steph, hanging about?
It's hanging. I don't like the idea of slating people before they've even performed. So it's one of those. But
good job for a family show. I could have said something then.
That's a reflection on you, Dave, not me.
It is. It is a reflection on me.
But why did the RFL have to release it?
Yeah, I know it's odd, isn't it? I mean, you just don't get it in any other sport. And how many times do you see people coming out saying that we need to protect the referees and all the rest of it? It's just today I saw a couple today. I thought, why do we do that?
We never used to. Back in the day, before the internet, you rocked up and you found out who the ref was when he walked out.
Yeah, bonkers, mate. Yeah, absolutely bonkers. Right, let's keep Steph on the screen. Let's say goodbye to Reggie. Let's say goodbye to Joel. Steph, it's time to do hanging or banging. Here we go. Starting off with this one, 110,000 tickets thus far sold for the Ashes. 30,000 remain at Wembley. It's going to be an outstanding Ashes. It's great to see the rugby league community coming out in force for the end of season extravaganza.
Yeah, absolutely banging. We've all been crying out for an Ashes series. I think it's brought back a lot of nostalgia. We've mentioned already a few times this season the Jonathan Davis try at Wembley, things like that. So, but no, the attendance is great. To get 2 sellouts already is fantastic. Hopefully, Wembley can sell out as well. If there's only 30,000, that's probably higher than what I thought it'd be at this stage. So, I think once people find out. Yeah, when people find out they're not going to a grand final, potentially those may decide they'll go to the Wembley game instead. So hopefully at the end of the season there'll be a big push when people realise what they're missing out on, and let's get it sold out. And that would be fantastic. If we'd have a sellout series, that would be unbelievable.
Well, we're on for 70,000 at OT. They're hoping to break 70,000 again, which has not been done for many years. If this could be a sellout, Rugby League in a great space. And hey, what a great little arm wrestle negotiating tool that's going to be. Stadium attendance is up, viewing figures up, things like this selling out. Hey, Rugby League dead? You're having a giggle. Rugby League is alive, and it is well done, Mr. Sale. Let's bring in Mr. Nixon. Mr. Nixon, the race for Super League hot's up, but Brian Noble says, not me. If the Bulls come up, Mr. Noble is stepping down. Opportunity knocks for the right coach, and it would appear this is the end of Brian Noble, maybe as a coach at the top level. We wish him well.
Yeah, of course we do. He's been a great coach. I think he's won everything in the game, apart from probably the Ashes. I think when he was international coach. Great coach, great guy. Got a lot of knowledge. You can tell that when he's commentating on the rugby. Got a lot of knowledge. Hopefully, it won't be his end of involvement in rugby league. Hopefully, he'll go on to work behind the scenes, or who knows, maybe even become chief exec at the rugby league at the RFL. Who knows? But it's not good. It could be hanging news for Bradford. But there's a certain Steve McNamara who's floating around, who may well fancy his chances if Bradford get into Super League next season. And I think that would be absolutely banging for Bradford if Steve McNamara fills his shoes.
See what you've done there. What you've done there, Mr. Nixon. Hey, fair play to you. So very well done, mate. Very well done. You'll be back in a moment. We'll say goodbye to you. We'll say hello to Mr. Scholes, and let's go up to Castleford. A player that you will know very well, Blake Taff, of course, once a bunny. 6 and 7 more to follow as well, Chris Chester. But hey, let's stay with Taff. You know this player well, Joel. Castleford Tigers fans, a couple of mischief makers said, Blake who? Would you like to give a glowing tribute to this player?
I was just going to say, do you want me to give a very quick rundown of his career thus far? So he started off his journey at the Bunnies, or certainly at the higher grade. He did a few senior level games, didn't quite get into the starting lineup too much. Then he was put down to the New South Wales Cup division, and he was part of a grand final there. And then the following year, which was in 22, was part of the grand final place for the South. It was a defeat to the Canterbury Bulldogs of all teams. Very good player, I've got to say. And then when he went to the Bulldogs, he then pretty much played the rest of his time at first grade there, and he's played in some very big games. So when you say Blake who, please start watching your NRL. He's a very good player. He's 26. He's a fullback by trade, but he can play in the halves if you need him to. He can play in centre, and you could probably at a push put him on a wing if you had to. Though he is best at fullback, or I'd probably say halfback, possibly. But there's a lot to be excited about with Blake Taffer for Castleford Tiger fans. And if you don't know who he is, have a look. I'm sure there will be online on YouTube his highlights and stuff, because he's played plenty of first grade. Really good bloke. Definitely looking forward to seeing him play in 26.
So it's a banger.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Banger, yeah. All of them, they're all getting in there. Everybody's saying this is great news for Castleford Tigers. Chris Chester has done a sterling job in bringing him over. The only caveat I would say is, Blake, lad, it's not a great tash. You might want to have a little think about that one. But hey, as far as his feet and his hands are concerned, absolutely outstanding. I think not since Harry Smith a couple of years ago on his official photo have we seen a tash like that. But anyway, then again, we have got Brad Fash as well. But anyway, we move on. Let's get into Mr. Sale. Steph, this one's come out, not confirmed, but Oliver De Partington. Oh, see what I've done there? Oh, have a bit of that. Now, if Saints were to pick up young Oliver, good replacement for Morgan Knowles?
Yeah, well, he's definitely a workhorse, isn't he, Ollie? Great defender. Not so much a ball playing 13, but he no doubt he will, really shore up defensively aside, and a really good player. So yeah, if he comes into Saints, I think this is a pretty decent replacement for Knowles. His go forward, not quite the same as Knowles, bit of a different type of player. But I think Saints having that defensive middle will really help them. So yeah, be a banging signing for Saints this.
Yeah, I would have to say, Saints fans, how do you replace Morgan Knowles? The form he's in, it's very, very difficult to get the complete number 13. I think, actually, as Steph says, defensively, there's few better in Super League than Oliver Partington defensively. And then it's looking for other players to give you that offensive quality going forward. I agree with Steph. I think this is a bet. If you're going to go and get somebody, you can do a lot worse than Ollie. Banging for me as well. Well done, Steph. We'll see you in a moment. We'll bring back Mr. Nixon. Greg will stay with Saints. Shocking news. A grade 3 hamstring tear for Owen Dagnall. He is now a doubt if he's going to come back. He might get back by the end of the season, but it is doubtful. Your thoughts on this? It's a real shame.
It's an absolute heartbreaker, isn't it, for him? And his dudes, he just got his place there. He was doing so well. It's absolutely hanging for lad. Hopefully, speedy recovery. And hopefully he comes back stronger from this.
Yeah,
it's hanging. But I feel sorry for lad.
It's hanging for the playoff series. It's hanging for the end of Super League. And I have to say, Deb Hasty, good effort from Deb. She's got, Dawn Baker, my apologies. It's Dawn's Magnum PI Tash for Blake Taff. Yes, you know that Dawn liked a little bit of Tom Selleck back in the 80s. Steady on, Dawn.
Didn't we all?
Absolutely, didn't we all? Oh, what a Ferrari. Ooh. Anyway, we'll say goodbye to Mr. Nixon and we'll bring in Mr. Scholes. Mr. Scholes, Charles Staines to Catalan on the wing, bit of quality. Good player, won the NRL title with Penrith, knows the try line. Just to give a bit of clarity, 23 tries in 39 appearances for Penrith, and this season 16 tries in 38. Good player, this lad.
Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, because I was just going to say there's some good stats on this gentleman on the screen here. Where I think Catalan are going to be in for a treat with him. We're not talking like Luke Keary's here. We're not talking about the other downgrades they've had this season, which I can't believe I'm saying that because when they were in the NRL, they were absolutely fantastic. But clearly, Mr. Staines is going to be one quality winger. He brings speed, strength. He does remind me a bit of a Ryan Hall almost. He's got that game in him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. Great play for Wes, and I think he's going to suit Catalan's style. I know it depends on who they're going to what style of play they're going to have with the new coach, if at any point. But with Joel at the helmet so far, he's got a good player in his hands, and he's to look after him.
He does indeed. I think this is a banger. A really good, solid player. Be very interested to see how this guy goes. Right, you stay where you are, Mr. Scholes, because it's time for this.
This is Joel Scholes with your Fantasy League update. Let's see who the movers and shakers are for this week.
So, okay, we're not going for the players of the round. Okay, that's fine. We'll go to the top of the podium. So we've got Stuart Scaife in third with the replica, not the replica shirt, sorry, the merchandise, Super League Raw hoodie. Certainly Stuart has got his hand on that. He's been in and around the podium all season long. And then we go on to second and first, Mr. Alan Bagley, with the replica shirt and the season ticket for next year. So as we're going to look down the list now of people, so I did mention Alan's scores, but we've got Alan in first and second with 762 points for this week. So it was a really good week for him there. Stuart with 699, and it's funny then as we go down in the 10, we'll see some really big scores hit. So in fourth we've got Stuart Scaife again. Fifth we've got Neil Ormston. And in sixth, Neil Ormston again as well. Stephen Broomfield in seventh. David Moore in eighth. Stuart Scaife again in ninth. And Liam Cannon in 10th. And when we're going to have a look at the highest scorer for this week, a whopping 810 points. And that was for Jamie Lawson, who's in 13th. I think he's moved up quite a number of positions there just off this week alone. So very well done. And it still remains very tight at the top. So make sure that you're changing your squads each week.
Mate, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. I think it's a really tight contest there between Alan Stewart and Neil. They've been at it all year long. But Steve Broomfield, he's still got an outside chance, I think, certainly of maybe a bit of merch. He's still right in it. It's very important that they keep doing it. For those, of course, who are non-members, these guys joined right at the start of the season. They're playing for some massive prizes. We wish them all the very best of luck indeed as we go through till the end of the season. Outstanding stuff. Let's bring the boys back. Hey, there they are, handsome as they are, as always. Right, boys, should we do a bit of wobbling? Let's do a bit of wobbling. Here we go.
Give your head a wobble.
Do you know what? It was really hard getting wobbles this week. There was a lot of really good, honest, quality comments in people's chats. Maybe people are frightened of the wobble. Maybe we're getting a reputation now that I can't be putting that on social media. I might be getting a wobble. Oh no, but anyways, there's still a few. Okay, where are we going to start? Well, we'll start with Warrington, and it was a Saints fan that went on Warrington's page. I mean, things are bad at Warrington, but come on, here we go. So, Mark Loftus, Warrington are not Super League standard. They need to rebuild in the lower leagues, playing teams that are at the same level as them. We should promote Widnes to represent Cheshire.
Come on.
I can't even bring myself to wobble at that.
Oh, God bless him. Absolutely outstanding. Let's go to Wakey. Let's go to David Walton, a Wakey fan. Remind me, what was the Wigan score against Wakey? 44-2?
Yeah.
We get one every week. You cannot beat luck, Mr. Kendall. No, it's 44-2. It had nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even Havard, shocker. Come on, let's go there very, very quickly. Lucky boy.
That wasn't Kendall, though, was it?
Wasn't Kendall. It's video ref, but lucky boy.
Very.
Yeah, straight. Most blatant red of the season for me.
Yeah, even Havard. I mean, I'm not being funny. You know, all I would know, all I'd say is, I mean, I only got 50p a pound when I lost a tooth and put it under my pillow. That lad got little gold nuggets under his pillow. He's a lucky boy, he is, I'll tell you. Absolutely lucky. No doubt about that whatsoever. Right. Hey, St. Helens, you know what I mean? What a gritty win against Hull FC. Potentially second Saints. All those people that, you know, have done the right thing, and all those people that went for Paul Wellens and have now hid under a stone and not to come out. Well, not Dowell Edwards. Even in the good times, he's not happy with Paul. He said, I'll get behind him if I can have a guarantee he's going at the end of the season. Who'd be Paul Wellens? Unbelievable. I'll tell you what as well, on another note, the amount of people that are going for Super Jack. Have you seen it? You know, oh, the king is dead, long live the king. Super Jack.
Incredible. It's incredible criticism he's getting.
Oh, he shouldn't be playing, should be made to work for his... This is Super Jack Wells, man. Oh, dear. Whoa, tell you. Unbelievable. Mike Sanders, another Saints fan. I'm sorry, Saints fan, but I went everywhere. Wigan, I went KR, I went FC, I went everywhere. You topped it this week. Unbelievable. Because he said, no team in the top 6 will fear us in the playoffs. Mate, you're playing some wonderful rugby league. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can only beat the team in front of you. You've got a big test coming up at the weekend that we're going to get to in a minute. But I'll tell you who will fear you. Leeds. Well, Leeds don't like playing Saints. Very seldom the Leeds like playing Saints. There's one team that won't like to play you. Steph would, you know, in Saints' current form, you know, you'll go into it confident. You'll think you could beat them, but they think they could beat you. You wouldn't take them lightly, would you, in the playoffs, Saints?
No, definitely not. No. Very good form.
Very good form. I mean, from your position, obviously the lofty heights, you know, that you've been all season, you know, could they get to Old Trafford, Steph?
Absolutely.
And that's a League fan. That's a League fan, Mike. Doesn't even like your team. Appreciates the rugby they play, but don't like your team. More faith than you.
It's lucky for Saints that Warrington won't get in the six because
unbelievable.
They can't beat Warrington.
Unbelievable. And then David Adam, Wakey. We'll go back to Wakey. David, come on, mate. Come on, Chief. What are you doing here? Really, really poor. Yeah, they were. Not a fan of Powell. But hey, put into perspective, though, I would have been happy to. I would have been happy to finish 10th. So you're going to probably finish 6th. I still think you finished 6th in Super League this year, which is 4 places above where you thought you'd finish, but you don't like the man who's orchestrated you getting there.
Well, Played some
And you
very
took
good
them.
rugby. Played some very good rugby, Wakefield, under power.
Very good. Don't get me wrong, they seem to be stuttering. And we've said privately on the show that, even if they don't finish top 6, which I think they will, and even if they go out the first round of the playoffs, what a season. What a season to be a
Did the same as Lee did in 23.
Yeah, what it's something to build from. I mean, what a season. You've been going some really good recruitment for next year. You've already ring-fenced the likes of Josh Walker, who we all believe should be getting the game. I have to say, I think the Truman I think that's disjointed him a little bit. We might get into that when we do predictions in a minute. But yeah, Josh Walker for me should be getting more of a game, but come on. And then the last one is a personal one. I'm not going to mention the name. Because I can't remember who it is. But we do have a head wobbler who decided to give our podcast a little bit of a review. And this is for that person. Because by all accounts, gentlemen, we are egotistical, all 4 of us. We know very little about rugby league, supposedly. And don't get me wrong, there'll be people that know far more than we do. But I think our knowledge is pretty good. And I think it's very, very fair. But by all accounts, we're egotistical. I don't see any other podcast that brings a young lad on it like Ollie. I don't see any other podcast that our members invited to do their own podcast. If we were egotistical, the only faces you'd see on Super League Raw are ours. We share the love, which shows we're not egotistical. So to my very good friend who might still be listening, albeit he doesn't rate us that much, if you are listening, don't crash your car. Wouldn't want that to happen, but this wobble is just for you. My friend, all the very best. And with that, let's do Team of the Week.
Team of the Week is sponsored by The Good Estate Agent. With an average turnaround time of 3 weeks, if you want your house sold quickly, then contact Stefan today on 01942 356 577. Quote Super League Raw for 33% off. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 23 of the Good Stage of 2025. Here we go again. Did somebody say George Michael? Well, let's do it then. At fullback, it's the man who didn't have any guilty feet, but a lot of rhythm. Lockie Miller was outstanding once again. And now that KR are gone, it's time to move on to FC. At 2 is Zach Eckersley, who had the freedom to run and score will against the Trin. He won't be bringing the Warriors down. And hey, Zach, all the Wigan Warriors fans want right now is you, my friend. At 3, wake me up before you gagai. Jacob Gagai loves playing against the wire. He put the boom boom into the heart of the cowbells, and he was hitting a high note since his arrival at the Giants. At 4 is Remy Smith, the Catalan Dragons. If we were the Dragons, we would think twice before you throw Remy away, as he's got lots of games to play. Perhaps a little faith will go a long way on the Drax. At 5, if you're looking for some education on how to be a top draw winger in the Super League, baby, can you read the signs? Well, if you're looking for some fast love, Liam Marshall is a fast winger. He's the only person to have on your mind. At 6, he's your man, Bevan French. If Wigan want to do it right, do it with Bevan. Call him good, call him bad, call him anything you want to, baby. Is it any wonder the rest of Super League are sad, as he is the one thing they've never had? At 7, he was never going to be a chef. He's done with a kitchen table. Or a butler. He's done with a hall. He was never going to be a salesman at DFS, as he's done with a sofa. Jade Connor is a superb rugby league player who goes outside and takes the Rhinos to places they love best. At 8 is the man who likes to play a duet or two in the front row. He will make sure that the sun doesn't go down on the Rhino seasons just yet, as he's closed the door on KR's dominance and left them blinded by the light. At 9, well, take a look in the mirror and cry if you're not a saint, as Darryl Clark just won't give you no relief. All we want to ask is, can anybody stop the Clark from scoring a try? At 10 is the wham bam thank you man, Presley Cassell. All that was missing was the C, as he took his teammates by the hand and welcomed them to Wonderland. The drinks might not have been free, but there was fun and sunshine for everyone at Headingley. At 11 is the man who will not let you down. He has faith in himself and he's fast becoming one of the Super League's most potent middle units. Sam Walters, he's a schoolgirl's pride and joy, and oh yeah, it's rock and roll TV when he's on it. At 12 is Harry Rushton, who took Huddersfield to the edge of heaven with a stellar second row performance at the weekend. Talk about wrapping up the wire. Yeah, la 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 la. And finally, at 13 is the saint that fights and wins the battle and knows the taste of victory. Morgan Knowles, he's made it through the heartaches and found a way out of the darkness to have his best season yet, as the NRL are waiting for the Knowles. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Team of the Week for round number 23.
So there you go, gentlemen, the team of the week. And for the first time ever, bar one, we agree with the official Super League team of the week. It's never been that close, ever. The only player that we didn't agree with in the team of the week was Lewis Martin over Liam Marshall. It was the only one. Everybody else we completely agreed with. Bit of Wham, bit of George Michael. Come on, Joel. We know you like a bit of team of the week. Give us a careless whisper, son. What do you think of that?
It was very good. I've got to ask you, Dave, though, when you got to Burn French, please tell me you was not trying not to laugh there. I was in stitches. I was trying to yawn, and halfway through yawning, I burst out laughing. That was fantastic.
Absolutely.
The thing is, though, you sit in a bar now, Dave, and it's going to get higher each week. That's the problem.
Well, I'm up for the challenge. Don't worry about that. But some incredible. I mean, I tell you what, gents, as well. When I put this together, that's a good team. That
very good team.
Very good team.
Isn't it? You could see that causing a lot of problems in Super League, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's got pace and power.
Yeah,
and skill as well with French and Connor.
Yeah. I mean, Harry Rushton, Joel had his say on Round Unpacked. Steph will come to you on Rushton. I thought Harry had a great game.
He did. He was fantastic. I thought Gagai was brilliant as well in that win. I thought he had a really, really good game. But no, great to see Bevan doing what Bevan does. Probably played better than a lot of people expected. I know he's probably on his day the best player in Super League, but to come back from a layoff and do that against a good side as well in Wakefield was fantastic. Lockie Lamb very unlucky, 5 assists again, going under the radar, not to get in, but only outshone by a great performance by Connor. But no, very good team of the week. And Knowles as well. He's just been in phenomenal form this season for me, Knowles, and a big reason why Saints are doing what Saints are doing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg, Remy Smith, hat-trick at the weekend against the Tigers. Surprising that Catalan are going to let him go.
Yeah, but, they're bringing in a quality winger next season. So, he's as he flattered to deceive a few times this season.
Do you know what? I think he's looked better than Kotrick when he's played.
Yeah, but I think they're kind of looking at an upgrade next season, maybe. But going back, this season on this George Michael theme, we've got a different Connor this season. Hope you saw what I did there. So, he's deserving his place on the performances that he's coming up with. Good to see Zach Eckersley in there. I've got a lot of time for Zach. He's going to be a great player. Gagai was sensational again. Well, as sensational as you can be against the opposition that Warrington put out in that second half. Sam Walters going from strength to strength. He had a lot of criticism early on in his Wigan career. Injuries didn't help him. Going from strength to strength, and I know Prop, he's gone to Prop, he's gone back to second row. He's proven invaluable in the middle for Wigan.
Loving Sam Walters made this year. Loving what he's about. Loving what he's about.
See some Huddersfield players in there getting the deserve. Rushton was superb.
It was, mate. It was. And of course, we have to mention Cassell. I thought Cassell was outstanding. No wonder Mr. Sharp is getting excited about Cassell. And I have to say, we have Mersey Saint with us tonight. Good evening to Mersey Saint. And it's a great point. We'll put it up on screen, actually. Many people back themselves into a corner early in the season and simply refuse to get behind Wello for no other reason than pure pride. He did come up with another comment that you can read if you're watching live. I won't go into it in full verbatim, but he does compare and contrast some of his Saints brethren to a nice juicy plum. I'll just leave that there for them. And as for Alan Reeves, it just wouldn't be a show of Super League Weekly without going, Saints are magic! The magic of Saints! Magic! Absolutely unbelievable. For those who don't know why I'm doing that, there was a Saints fan after the Salford game who got a bit giddy saying, Saints are magic! Magic performance by Saints! I don't know if that's how she sounded. Magic! Just magic, mate. But anyway, that's by the by. But there you go. And seeing as though we're all smiling and laughing, let's all have a laugh at these.
Ooh, pass me a cucumber sandwich.
Yes, it's time to pass a little cucumber sandwich. Let's go up into the press box and see what mischief they've been creating this week. Let's start at the Huddersfield Giants. Flanagan, 3 points, no arguments with that. 2 for Jake for Mr. Gagai, no arguments with that. 1 point went to Matt Duffy.
No.
Matt Duffy.
No. No.
Yeah, Matt Duffy got a point. Matt got a point. Unbelievable.
No Rushton.
There you go. Saints was French Walters and Insemba. You could have probably, again, I've not got any real issue with that. At the end of the day, you could. He gave 3 for French, 2 for Walters, Wigan. Sorry, yeah, Wigan. Yeah, sorry.
You said Saints.
All right, I've got Saints on my mind. The magic. The magic stuff.
That'll have gone down well.
It would have done magic. Yeah, magic. 3 for French, 2 for Walters, and 1 for Insemba. But in fact, let's go to that game, right? Let's go to Saints for a moment, because there was one that I'm like, wow, really? I'm trying to remember who they put in there. Oh, that was it, yeah. So 3 for Morgan Knowles, no arguments. Daz Clark got 1 point. Thought Clark was exceptional. We gave him 2. They gave 2 points to Lewis Martin.
Not this week.
No. I didn't see that. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I didn't see Tom Amon getting a point for Castleford Tigers either at Perpignan. Did anyone see that?
Nope.
No.
How did any Castleford Tigers player get a point in Perpignan? Somebody help me with that. It's like, are you having a giggle? Unbelievable. Yeah. Actually, saying that though, it was trumped at Salford Lee because Rowan Milne's got a point. Anyone?
He played all right.
3, mate.
No, but I think into Rowan's defence,
he played well.
Going into a brand new team, he caused Lee some trouble on Friday night.
Don't disagree with that, but he wasn't top 3 on the park. No. And it's almost like we've got to put a Salford player in. We've got to put a Castleford players in. No, you don't.
No.
It's like people who say you can't have more than 4 players of the same team in any team of the week. Why? They're the best in the position. Why? It's a fair contest. It's not bias. If I had 5 Wigan players or 5 Wakey players in a team of the week, I won't bat an eyelid because I bat my decision they're the best in their place.
Yeah,
just bonkers, absolutely bonkers. But there you go. We've done the cucumber sandwiches for another week.
Who were the 3 at Lee? Just have interest.
You got 3 for Lamb,
5 assists.
5 assists. They gave 1 to Davis as well, which I don't know about that, but. Lamb definite 3, no issues with that. I know Brad Dwyer. I saw some comments. Brad Dwyer should be playing over Ipape, but I couldn't find it again. I read it at the weekend, and then for Wobble, I couldn't find it again. Brad Dwyer should be playing over Edwin Ipape.
Yeah, he had a very good game, did Brad?
He did, and don't get me wrong, but I think when you balance it up, I know if I was going into any game and I had both of them fit, I know who's starting. It's just sometimes we get a bit giddy, don't we? We get a bit giddy. But yeah, anyway. Right, let's get into this one. Let's get into the prediction league. Here it is. And Mr. Sale continues to lead, albeit he is being clawed back in by the members. They're 4 points behind. Reggie also getting a couple of points extra this week over Mr. Sale. He's now up to 316. Then it's the non-members at 302. Joel at 300. I'm at 299. Earl at 293. That's how it's looking thus far this season. It's still all to play for. I think the podiums are still possibly... I don't know. Actually, I think the top 3 are the top 3. It's going to take some shifting. Any of you 3, I think, at the top. But yeah, game on, gentlemen. Game on. Craig Forth saying Charlie, nah, mate, not as good as Marsh. He was good, but again, you've got to take into account Wigan were playing Waker. Come on.
I think he's saying in the 3-2-1 for Lee in the.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Craig. Yeah, that's a shout. Yeah, that's a shout. I can see where you're going with that. 2 tries.
Are the scores this year a little bit higher than last year?
It looks so. It's been a good year.
Yeah.
It's been a good year, mate. It's been a good year. There's no doubt about it. Right. Here they are then. This weekend's fixtures. The Lee Leopards going up against Castleford Tigers. Castleford upset about their quick turnaround. Of course, many teams have done that this season. Barley, of course, who had a just put theirs back. But apart from that, everybody else, so I'm sorry, I've got no sympathy for that. Brilliant game at Craven Park. That's going to be a belter. We'll get into that in a minute. Hull KR, of course, taking on the Saints, the Magic Saints. We've got Warrington taking on Salford Red. It's only for fun. just for fun. Warrington Wolves taking on Salford, FC taking on Leeds. That'd be a good game. Then it's Wakey Huddersfield. That all of a sudden, 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Wakey were in the groove, you'd be thinking, yeah, it should be a win for Wakey. But you know what? That is no Ollie Russell, which we'll get to, but that's a bit of a problem, no doubt about it. And then, of course, bringing the curtain down in Perpignan, 3 games on Saturday, is the Wigan Warriors travelling over to the south of France. Let's take a look at Super League. This is how it's looking. Of course, KR still at 4 points clear. They've won it. I mean, again, I'm not getting into this nonsense. KR will win it. Look at the points difference. They'll win it. Even if they do it on level points, they'll still win it. I can't see KR being shook from that, but it could get interesting. Wigan win this weekend, KR would lose, but yeah, I think KR should be okay. Saints, of course, massive game. I mean, if Saints beat KR and Wigan was a losing Catalan, don't see it happening. There's all ifs and buts in it. It's all ifs and buts. Leeds, great game against FC. FC lose that. Maybe Wakey this week finishing 6th at the end of the week. Again, great permutations there. We won't go down at the bottom. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, let's go into the game on Thursday. The squads, of course, have been announced. The Lee Leopards, Steph, over to you. Decent looking squad. Everybody, the big boys are back. Would you expect the big boys to return for this one?
I don't know about Ipape. I think with the way Dwyer played, I think he might give Edwin another week off, given that he was carrying a knock, and I think he's the one in the league team that most needs a bit of a rest at the moment. So I think Gaz O'Brien will probably come back into the squad. They'll keep Ben McNamara on the 9 role with Dwyer, I think. No Owen Trout again, so another player that's getting a well-deserved rest at the moment for Lee. But yeah, and I think AJ Towers as well scored a try at the weekend. I'd like to see him get another run out this week against Castleford. So maybe Tutavaki coming back in the team as well. That'll be interesting to see. I thought Aaron Penne, for his first run out, did a pretty decent job when he came on against Salford. So yeah, some good players getting some game time, I think, this week for Lee.
Yeah, over we go to Castleford Tigers, Joel. Texoy, number 1. I mean, obviously, we've announced the announcement, of course, of Blake Taft coming in. I mean, I'm not sure what his contract situation is. I think he's still there for next season. Now, Hoy's somebody else who's flitted with the halfback position. Again, you said about Taft, his best position's fullback. Hoy's best position's fullback. It's almost Saints-like. Are they going to have too much bags of riches in one position, maybe?
Yeah, but I think the real question is, who would you pick out the 2? I think everyone that knows NRL would put Taff in there because he's just unfortunately a far better player. And I'm not taking anything away from Hoy. It's just realising the kind of quality we're playing with here. He's world class. He's such a good player. He's tough. He needs to be at 1. So putting Hoy in the halves isn't a bad shout. Especially not when you've got someone like Taff at your fullback. I think if it was the other way around, it'd just be a bit daft because he's going to be on big money.
Problem is though, that I would put Hoy and again we diverse a little bit here, but it's an interesting case in point whilst we've got a bit of time. Assey and Hoy, I think are probably similar halves if the way they play. I think they're desperate, Castleford, for that organising half, and I don't think any of, whether it be Hoy or whether it be Taff, will do that. I think they're the showboats. They're that break a line and that little bit of class. It's going to be interesting. Greg, back line. I mean, that's where Castleford have been decimated. The 3/4 line is an absolute car crash for the Castleford Tigers. Obviously, they brought Wallace in there. Great for Lindsay at the weekend, getting his try on debut at the Dragons. But for me, I look at that team and you just look at it and think, where are the tries coming from?
Yeah, I have got to agree with you there, David. They've had some joy with some of the backs that they've had playing this season, and yeah, I think that is where they're going to struggle this weekend's game. So I'm going for, as you're probably aware, I'm going for a Lee win.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. In terms of Hoy, a lot of people saying he's going to be allowed to leave. He's one of those players that Chris Chester was saying, even though they're under contract, might be allowed to go. That's interesting. Dev Hasty saying that he's homesick by all accounts. Only took him 3 years to work that one out. Rumour Trout to Wigan, Steph, in the chat. Is that just mischief making? Have you heard Trout to Wigan anywhere, Steph?
First I've heard. I'm just checking. I saw it. I'm just checking what his contract is.
Yeah, Sai said that was before he went to Lee. There was a rumor.
End of 26. His contract is really.
He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere next season, is he? No chance.
If Wigan wanted Owen Trout, even though he's got a year left on his contract, they'd have to pay a massive fee for him. For Lee to release him.
Couldn't agree with you more, Steph. Couldn't agree with you more. Look, at the end of the day, Rugby League on a Thursday night, what's there not to like? We'll have to tap somebody up to do captain's run. I've just realised that Steph won't be doing it. You're at home. So I'm working 7 till 5 on Thursday, so we can't even pre-record. So I'm going to have to get one of my mates down at the bottom of the screen, and maybe a member as well, to come along for captain's run 6 o'clock on Thursday night to get you all the way up to kick off. But Thursday night Rugby League, we can allow Mr. Saylor a night off to put his feet up and enjoy the full merriment of the LSV. We're only jealous, sir.
Count me in for that one, Dave.
Outstanding. Greg has already put his hand up. Outstanding. There you go. What a treat for the members. Joel this week, deputising for Steph. Steph's had a wonderful week off. It's great that he's been allowed to enjoy himself this week. I know he loves it, but do you know what? I'm delighted you've had a week off, mate. You deserve it. You deserve it, my friend. Well done. Outstanding. He'll be back in full gusto the week after, I'm sure. Right, let's get back into this. I mean, look, we'll come to Steph last. It's his team. Greg, no dramas here for Lee. You expect Lee after a good win last week. Again, favourable. Salford, then Cass. They get 2 wins, bang bang. It's good for a minute. Can't see him slipping up here, mate.
I would be very, very, very surprised. I know, as Steph says, that they might bring some from fresh blood in or whatever, and give some players a run out. I've gone for 9-17. Rather than I was toying with 18 plus or 9-17. I've got a 9-17.
Keith Lambert agrees with you, mate, in the chat. Keith's gone with you. He's saying 9-17. Yeah. Rebecca Frey is also saying 9-17. As is Heather Bailey, a lay for herself. She's saying 9-17 as well, as is Craig Forth. Joel, what say you?
I do see it more of a Lee 18 plus, and that's just because they need to be putting the foot down a bit more now, because we are getting so close to the end. Form is absolutely everything in the playoffs, and Lee have got the squad to certainly put many a point past Cass. So I'm going to see Lee 18 pluser.
Outstanding. You can tell Joel's a big fan of Smokey and the Bandit. Put your foot to the floor, the pedal to the metal, and all of that. Bye bye, baby. Anyway, Mr. Nixon likes that one. A bit of Burt Reynolds on a Thursday night. You can't beat a bit of Burt, wherever you are, sir.
Or a Tuesday night.
Tuesday as well. All the very best to Sir Burt Reynolds. Right, back into the chat. John Wilson, 18 plus for the Leopards. Ben Macklin going the same way. Deb Hasty, big win, 36 plus against the Tigers. That's a big one. It's a big one, that. Garibo, Lee, 18 plus, he's in there as well. Panthera Pardus, he's missing Joffa. Aren't we all? Big Joff. Outstanding. Nicola Burton-Wood, she's got 9-17 as well. Over to you, Steph. What are you going?
You missed Eleanor, he's got 18 plus. That'll be...
Where?
Just come in there.
Well, I've not got to the bottom yet. I've not got to the bottom yet. No. Ah, there she is. Yes, in fact, there you go. Let's put her up. There you go. Ellie, Lee, 18 plus. The lovely Ellie Sale. Outstanding. Right, now over to Daddy. Daddy, over to you.
Excuse me, I'm laughing. You called me Daddy. Anyway, I think the big story here is Tom Amone's return to the Sports Village. That's a big story that's not been mentioned yet, and it'd be great to welcome Tom back to Lee. I'm sure there's plenty of Lee fans looking forward to seeing him on Thursday night. I'm sure he'll get the attention he deserves from the league fans. So that's going to be great. It's going to be an good grief, and Darcy as well is But she wants her shade Saints as well now.
Right,
in the
Darcy, there you go. Hey, up to
There
Darcy
we
as
go.
well. There you go.
Yeah,
There's
both,
there's one down.
equal. Both got the shout out.
Both got a shout. I've got both put on screen.
Yeah.
Quiet,
but-
kids. Why Papa
Yeah.
preaches. Come on, Papa. Preach.
Absolutely. I'll get there.
I'll be in trouble. Mate. Come on, carry on.
Yeah, there'll be a few who are Tom and Moans this weekend. You're right in the chat there. But no, it's going to be interesting. I think with Lee having nearly a week off and Cass short turnaround from a trip to Perpignan and a good hiding in Perpignan, let's face it, it should be a tough day at the office for them. However, if Lee play like they did against Salford, and that's not taking anything away from Salford, who I thought were exceptional in that first half, really chucked everything at it, and probably a lesson for Cass to learn from that. You know, if Chris Chester's done his video work, which I'm sure he has, you'll see that Salford took the game to lead that first half and were exceptional. So Cass are well capable of doing that. But I think you're right to highlight the three quarters, the back line. You'd like to think if Tessinew's playing, he should have a field day against that back line, and that's not a Bet Steph giveaway, but he may well be in my try scorers this week just because of that. So I'm going to go Lee 18 plus. I'm looking for my side to really put a marker down in this one and really show some signs that they want to kick on now and really make a push for these playoff positions. So points again doesn't really matter in this one for Lee because of the draw game. But I think it's more important the performance for Lee this week, and hopefully they'll do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Lee 18. I do. I think Lee 18 plus on this one. A good win for him, and move on to the week after. Right, the game of the round. It should be the game of the round for me. Saints, of course, going to Craven Park. Hull KR again in that little bit of a mini blip again. They're just finding a couple of defeats, problems maybe, and of course the front row decimated. No Jesse Sue. JWH still out with on his ban. Whitbread 50-50 for this one. We're hearing. Possible he could be back. So step forward in Reby Duro. He's going to have a big game, you feel, for KR at the weekend. And of course, the likes of Sam Luckley, etc. They are going to need to step up as well. As for Saints, big problems on the edges, of course. No Dagnall. I don't think Lewis Murphy's back for this. T. Ritson, who they could have recalled, he's of course just had an operation. He's gone for the season as well. So maybe Benison will be recalled from Widnes potentially. I don't know if it was a season-long loan or if he can be brought back, but you wouldn't be surprised to see Benison back at Saints. So again, having to shuffle the pack a little bit, the Saints for this one. So down the middle problems for KR, edge problems for Saints. We'd expect Sailor to take one of those win positions. Kyle Felt is out, so it's not just the one side; it's also the other. Kyle Felt will not be playing, is what we're hearing on the weekend. So, oh dear me. But anyway, Saints are magic. It doesn't matter. And I'm only joking. Only joking. Joel, we'll come to you first. Your thoughts on KR? Steph's had to go off. He's coughing. He's coughing and spluttering now.
Get a beer.
He's getting a beer. Fair enough. Fair enough. Joel, KR Saints. You thought it should be a belter. And I have to say, Mikey Lewis really needs to step up because by his high standards, he's been nowhere near the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's his perfect opportunity to do so. Having the likes of Felt out, if he definitely is. Dagnall's been absolutely major for Saints. What he's been doing, it's not just his try scoring. He just seems to have the vision. He just seems to know what he's doing. And he seems to be in sync with the rest of his teammates. And then Felt's kicking game, obviously, not there. Of course, there are other people who can deputise, but when you've only had one kicker so far all season, your boots become rusty, and that's unfortunately an impact that's going to be had on Saints. With the issues down the middle with KR, though, I don't see it as much of an issue because the likes of Doro can, and as we've seen, he can really punch holes when he plays his game. So it's his opportunity to try and keep a starting spot, hopefully, for himself. But then, like you mentioned about Mikey Lewis, it's his opportunity now with some of the better players for Saints not playing possibly, that he can really run riot. though I don't see it being a big scoreline. I do think it's going to be quite close. I think the fact that it's at Hull, at KR, and they had the likes of Dagnall and Felter out, and I think he said Benison as well, isn't he?
Yeah, somebody says that Benison's gone. I've not heard that. I thought Benison was
Yeah.
I know Ritson's gone. I don't know where Tom Mass's saying that he believes Benison's gone. I'm not
Right.
heard.
But yeah, I'd not. But yeah, based off that, if that is the case, it isn't looking great for Saints. So I'm going to go KR 1-8 because you never know. Some of these rumours may not be true. But I think KR have just got enough in the bag to kick on, and they have to. This is the game now where they need to be proving themselves.
Fair enough. Reggie, your thoughts? Saints KR?
Yeah, I think, Joel says the issues might be easy to overcome for KR. I think they've got some big players missing there. And I think, those players have helped Mikey Lewis to do what he does best. They've made the room for him, as they say, the packs win your games. It's just the backs that decide how much by. So I think that could be a bit of an issue for Hull KR, the fact they've got quite a few of their big boys out. I think we'll see Sailor on one wing. Quite who will go on the other wing. It's anybody's guess at this moment in time. I'm with Joel. I think this is going to be a tight game. I think I did think last week, I did think about giving Leeds the win over KR because we've seen it so many times that when a team's gone to Wigan and won the game after, more often than not, they lose. It was a heavy defeat for KR. They've got to bounce back, as Joel says. I think this is going to be a really, really, really tight game. I can see this being golden point. And
lovely.
I'm going Saints 1-8.
Oh,
and I think it's going to be golden point.
Greg Roach is agreeing. He's gone Saints 1-8. He's in there.
When you get one of those feelings.
Yeah, it's been a while, sir, but yeah. Nicola Burtonwood, she's gone KR 1-8. Jill over there in Canada, she's gone KR 1-8. Ellie 1-8. KR, I don't know what Darcy's saying, but Ellie's gone KR 1-8. I won't make that slip up again. You know what I mean? Ooh, I could be in trouble. Keith Lambert, KR 9-17. Saints by 4, says Dawn Baker. That must hurt Dawn. Gary Bow Robbins 1-8. Rebecca said Saints 1-8. Tight. Everybody's going pretty tight. Aiden Simpson sees it Saints 9-17. That's interesting. That's a biggie. We're not seeing many 9-17s. Ben Macklin's gone Saints 9-17 as well. But the vast majority going 1-8 either way, Steph. What are you saying?
First things first, the reason I want you to read the chat is because they don't do a super chat off my account. But yeah, no, I think it's two different stories. I mean, Saints got the win at the weekend. Do I think they're exceptional against FC? No. I think they did a good job. Interest in those players. I don't think Benison is injured. He scored the try on the hooter for Widnes against Featherstone.
I think somebody said that it was a season loan. I don't know. I mean, and that's the only thing I'm unsure about, if he can be recalled or not.
I think they still could be.
Yeah. Well, if he can, he's playing. They have to be.
But even if he does that, but Saints have had that problem. The reason he's gone out on loan was because he wasn't, performing. So, yeah, interesting from that. I think we're going to see a reaction from KR this week. That against Leeds wasn't good enough. Leeds were exceptional, absolutely, probably the best performance from Leeds all season. I don't think anyone could disagree with that, and I think they would have beat any team in Super League last week. The way they played against KR, they were phenomenal. But Willie Peters has standards, and I think that's going to be a real impact this week for them. And being at home, my worry for Saints is if Felt isn't playing, and if Dagnall isn't playing, then that leaves real good opportunity for Burgess and Davis, who've both been phenomenal this season. So this is where I think Saints may get caught out. I'm going a bit more brave with this prediction. I'm going KR 18+.
Oh, that's a big call. That's a massive call.
Wow! I think we're going to see a big reaction from KR.
Wow. I've just checked. John Benison has extended his loan, but can be recalled if necessary.
Well, he'll be back.
Yeah,
he'll be back. There's no doubt for me. he will be back. And then, of course, it's going to be a case of, is there anybody? I mean, again, he's like Dion Cross. He's still out, isn't he? I've not heard that Dion Cross is back. So they've got major problems. I mean, those two wide positions, they've got major problems. I tell you what, Adam loves he loves it, doesn't he, Adam? He's making me doing it again. Says we'll need to be magic to beat KR. He loves it. He loves it, Adam. Loves it. Loves magic Saints. But do you know what? For all you Saints fans who think I'm taking the mickey, look, it's a bit of sport. I'm backing your team. I think a Saints 1-8. And because of the middle unit, you saw what Knowles did. You saw Walmsley this season has been a juggernaut down the middle in the yards. Lees is Lees. I think, Daz Clark had a great game at the weekend. Him and Litton, that's a cracking little duel on the way. For me, I think it'll be tight and Saints to nick it 1-8. Maybe. Anyway, we'll see. Warrington against Salford. We won't go into this. I think the best thing about Friday night is we're spending it with Matty Timms, Greg. Rugby plays second fiddle, having a good evening with our mate Matty Timms. It's going to be an absolute pleasure to be in his company and anybody else who comes to the Bluebell prior to the game. Of course, we will be live from 6:30 at the Bluebell, and we have got the quiz night coming back end of September. That's also on its way as well for you. We'll be announcing more details on that next week. Very quick on this, boys, because quite frankly, it just does not matter. Greg, your prediction?
I'm going Wire 9-17. The frustrated Wire fan was going to go for a Salford win, but Warrington 9-17.
Fair enough. Joel?
If I unmute myself, that would also help. Why I do not like playing Salford, I don't think at any point. And with the trouble that's going on and Salford putting in a bit of a shift against Lee, I'm going to go Wire 9-17.
Oh, boy, he's going Salford for a minute then. Oh, that'd have been a biggie. That'd have been huge. I think Warren will make very hard work of it, but I do think they'll come through 9-17, Steph.
I'm going to go Wire 18+.
You're going a big win for the Wire. All right.
Not necessarily a big win. Maybe 22-0.
18+ for Wise a big win this season, mate, no matter who they're playing. We'll say it's a big win. Rebecca Gray, Wire 9-17. Dawn Kirby, Salford 1-8. Simon Shaw, Salford 1-8. Bit of love for Matty Timms. Paul Boardman 1-8 to Salford. After that, pretty much going down the line of the Wire. But like I say, really looking forward to having Matty Timms. Yes, we will be testing his Salford knowledge live from the Bluebell. Can he win a pint? We'll find out on Friday. Tune in on YouTube live from the Bluebell from 6:30. Right, this is a good game. FC against Leeds. This is a good game. Really like this. I mean, Leeds superb last week. Now the question is, well, okay then, go and back it up. That's the bit now. They were outstanding. That first 40, one of the, if we were listing best 40 minutes of the season, it'd be up there. It'd be in a contention. We would be talking about it. They were that good with Leeds in that first 40, especially. Coming up against an FC side, that Steph, I'll come to you first. Asiata, Price, we said, they weren't that bad. For me, the opening that Saints had, you thought they're going to do a number on them here. But then they did what they were doing at the start of the season. They just stayed in the grind, which I found really impressive because I weren't expecting that. Not against Saints anyway. Can they do that again against Leeds, or do you think no, Leeds are a class above Saints at the moment?
It's at Headingley, isn't it?
I've got this down as being at FC, but I could be wrong. Let's have a quick look.
I thought it was at Headingley.
Sorry, yes, it's at Headingley. My apologies. At Headingley, yes.
Yeah, I expect Leeds to kick on. You don't waste a fantastic performance like that. I don't think they've got any injuries or key players. Asiata is massive loss for FC in terms of their shape and the way they attack and whatnot.
Cartwright's gone as well, isn't he?
Yes. So again, that's a big one in it for FC. I think there's a bit of a wave at Leeds at the moment. They're definitely got the momentum with them. They will come out really confident. Who are you waving at?
Leeds. You said there's a bit of a wave at Leeds. I'm just waving.
I said they're riding a wave. You should have been doing more of a Beach Boys than an actual wave. No Asiata, no party. He's exactly right, Mr. Massa. You're right. You're absolutely spot on. Leeds are going to kick on. They're going to beat them by 18 plus.
Fair enough. I've got 9-17. Joe, what says you?
Yeah, I've got 9-17 for Leeds because we know that FC, especially when they're not playing at home, they're very good at trying to upset people. And they'll put up a bit of a fight. And I just wanted to go a bit different to what I thought would have been the obvious choice and try and get some more points on the board.
And over to you, Greg.
Yeah, it is at Hull. I think, did we say that or did we say
no? It's Edinburgh.
No, it's on the Rhinos website as away to Hull.
That's all I was right.
I've just been checking.
It's at Hull. It's definitely at
Hull. Okay.
Never doubt myself.
So I'll check it. Leeds were superb last week against OKR, as you said. I don't need to reiterate any of that. Hull have got a few issues with injuries and players missing. It's at Hull. I'm going Rhinos 9-17.
9-17, the Rhinos.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Right, where are we? Leeds 9-17 says Tom Massa. Games at FC. Leeds 9-17 says Adam Reeves. A lot of love for Leeds. FC at home. Yeah. No, I can't see any Leeds ones. Everybody's going to Leeds. Has anybody said FC? Nobody said FC.
I don't see any.
That's interesting. Nobody going the way of Hull FC. I'm going Leeds 9-17. Right. Time. Got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Where's that gone? Wakey against Huddersfield Giants, Greg. Wakey, a little bit of a stutter. Bit of a difference playing Huddersfield compared to Wigan. I mean, they're not comparable. Trinity at home as well. That's no Ollie Russell. Ollie Russell won't be playing for Huddersfield. That I think's a problem as well. Your thoughts, mate? Trin, can they get themselves back into winning ways?
Yeah, as you say, two different types of games. Wigan are gearing up for their usual place at the top table come the end of the season. Wakey are allowed performances like that with the season they've had. I think they've come up against a Wigan side with Bevan French back in it. So they have pulled off a few shocks away at Wigan in the past, but they didn't even look in it on at the weekend. Huddersfield, I think Wakefield will be a different proposition altogether than Warrington were. I think Wakey 9-17.
Steph?
Yeah, brilliant win for Huddersfield at the weekend. I thought they were great. Bit of a demoralising one for Wakefield. I think Powell's going to bring the changes. I think we may get what me and you have been asking for in terms of Rourke coming back into the side for this one, and that's going to heavily. That's what I'm going to base my prediction on, because I think that's what Powell's going to do. It's going to be a really interesting and Saturday. What a day for Rugby League, by the way. Saturday is, because we've got FC Leeds at 3, Wakefield Huddersfield at 5:30, and then Catalan Wigan at 8:00. So that's Saturday cancelled, everybody.
I'll be divorced on Sunday.
Yeah, so that's back to back Rugby League. Fantastic. That's just what we want. Unfortunately, no Sunday game, but at least we've not got duplicate fixtures there. So but I'm expecting a Wakefield bounce back here. Sorry, Joel. I think they're going to put Rourke in. They're going to put Joe at standoff if he's not picked, because he was carrying a knock at Wigan, wasn't he? Didn't Joe get a bit of a knock? So this is based on it being a strong Wakefield side and Jowett playing 6 and Rourke in. I think I'm going to go Wakey 18 plus.
18 plus for the Trin. I've gone Trin 9-17. Joel?
Had Ollie been able to play, I would have gone a Giants win. Surprisingly, because out of the last 6, both have won 3, so it's quite even in them points of view. But as Seth has rightly said, they've got people at the disposal of Wakey, and they are going to be the stronger team, because we're not going to have a proper good 7 in there. And we're already Kieran Rush is playing great in the halves. He really is playing great. But we won that game at the weekend because of Ollie Russell. I know we've got a great forward pack and we've got a great second row, but you need a good spine, and we're missing, as main spine. So I'm going Wakey 9-17. I don't think it's 18 plus because I think we've been playing too good recently for us to get absolutely battered. But it is Huddersfield, and we can get smashed by anybody if we need to on the day. So that could happen.
No, so you're going Trin, yeah?
Trin 9-17.
Steph, remind me what did you go Leeds by?
18 plus.
18 plus. Thank you very much indeed for that. Marvellous. Right, we'll have to be quick. We've got 5 minutes, so this is a real quick one. You'll have to tune into Captain's Run to get all the lowdown on Wigan's trip to Perpignan. A lot of love for Wakey in the chat. A couple of Huddersfield as well. Joel, Ban Meckling on Huddersfield 1-8. So yeah, the Cowbells 1-8 says Paul Bullman as well. Right, very, very quick. And we have to be quick. So just predictions really, boys. Wigan, Bevan French, the man himself, the boom boom boy himself, back in the fold at the Warriors. We'll start with you, Joel. Wigan win by how much?
18 plus.
Greg, Wigan win by how much?
18 plus.
Steph, Wigan win by how much?
Well, I think this is 6 from 6, 18 plus.
18 plus for the Pies. I have to say, I'm not being funny, but they do go from being own brand to pucker when you put Bevan in the ingredients. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. You know what I mean? All I would say to all you Wigan fans out there, go and get the finest balm you can get. Yes, a balm, ladies and gentlemen. No, balm. It's a balm. No, it's a balm. Right? Go and get a balm and get a pie in the middle of the greatest kebab of your life and just toast the great Bevan French. He's back. He's bigger and badder than ever. If I was you, Wigan Warriors, I'd be very, very excited because he is, as me and Joel said, on Round Unpacked, the members exclusive show, he is premium fuel. You put Bevan French into a sports car, he's the premium fuel. He's the one that gets you around the park. He could be the difference yet again. Boys, what a weekend of Rugby League. Steph, you're spot on. Saturday, going to be amazing. Every week, there's a game that just makes you salivate. We've got a couple this week as well. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Rugby League. This has been Super League Raw Weekly. In our opinion, the best, most interactive, funnest magazine show online. And coming up now is the top performers and what you've got to look forward to over the next 7 days. Enjoy your Rugby League, everybody. Bye for now.
See you, everyone.
Here are your top performers after 23 rounds of the Betfred Super League. The top try scorer is still Lewis Martin of Hull FC. He's now on 22. Whilst the most try assists have come from Lachlan Lamb on 35 for the Leigh Leopards. The most meters made in Super League is Lockie Miller of the Leeds Rhinos, 3,571. Whilst the most clean breaks have come from Joe Burgess of Hull KR on 26. The top tackler continues to be Oliver Partington, Catalan Dragons, 924. Whilst the top tackle buster is once again Lachlan Miller of the Rhinos, 160. The most hard meters made this season down the middle have come from Alex Wormsley of St Helens, 2,833. Whilst the most offloads have still come from Tane Milne of Huddersfield Giants on 45. And finally, just about holding on to the most goals in Super League is Artem Org of the Robins, 71. These are your top performers after 23 rounds.